Gaelis wants to kill Brianna. Now, I did tell you that in the last series, and some of you didn't want to believe me. But you have to remember that Gaelis was completely mad. Claire, in a rage, ends up killing Gaelis. Now, do you remember the bones that was in Claire's office? Well, it's come home to roost. Jamie has been shot in the head. Now, are they trying to kill off Jamie's character out of Outlander? I'll discuss that further in my next vlog. Now, I just want you to bear in mind, not everything I'm going to be discussing here might make it into this episode. There are many reasons for this. Sometimes a plot line just doesn't fit in when they do the shoot. Sometimes they do the shoot and the scene just doesn't work. Or sometimes they try to condense the scene down to fit into the episode. Not only that, sometimes there are new directors and they've got their own ideas of what should be inside the series. So folks, today we're standing outside Linlithgow Palace. This of course was the scene of one of the most intense scenes in Outlander. I'm referring specifically to now when Jamie was locked up in Wentworth prison and when he had his encounter with Blackjack Randall, raping and torturing Jamie inside the prison. Behind me you can see the entrance to the palace. Now this entrance was used by Claire in that particular episode when she was entering and exiting Wentworth prison. Now of course Linlithgow Palace was used as a stand-in as Wentworth prison, and many of the scenes were shot here in the corridors and inside the dungeons. Now I'm walking down the corridor that Claire was actually running down when she was looking for Jamie inside Wentworth prison. Now I'm going to take you to some of the rooms where the dungeon scenes were shot. Now this palace is situated in the village of Linlithgow, which is situated about 15 miles outside Edinburgh. The palace was built in the 15th and 16th century and was mainly occupied by the Stuarts. Now an interesting thing to note about this palace that both King James V and Mary Queen of Scots were born here. So on with the story. John offers Jamie his boat, but Jamie says he can't just take the boat, he'll have to steal it. Otherwise they'll suspect John. Now at this point John offers Claire sanctuary, but she refuses. Now John doesn't understand what's going on and he's deeply hurt when they all say goodbye to each other. Now Jamie forces Fergus and Masali to stay behind. He doesn't want them to go with him. Claire starts having visions of Gaelis, and she's drawn towards the cave where Gaelis is hiding. When they enter the cave, it's really dark, and Jamie holds on to her tightly because he doesn't want Claire being drawn back in time. Now we know that Gaelis is completely mad. She has young Ian, and she wants to drink his blood so that she can go back in time. Now it's at this point that Gaelis threatens Brianna, and of course Claire goes absolutely crazy. And she kills Gaelis with an axe that Gaelis was going to use to kill Ian with. So Ian, Claire and Jamie managed to escape with the gemstones out of the cave. Now they manage to make their way back into the jungle, and Claire discovers that Jamie's got a wound. And on further inspection, she sees that Jamie's actually been shot in the head and that he's got a bullet lodged in his skull. This is all too much for Claire, and she ends up fainting. When she wakes up later on, she overhears a conversation between Ian and Jamie, and he tells the story how he was raped by Galis. Now when Claire hears this story, she decides to treat Ian with penicillin because she knows that Galis was suffering from advanced syphilis. They make their way back to the boat quickly because they're actually being pursued by the porpoise. The porpoise is actually chasing down slaves, but they would be happy enough to recapture the boat that was stolen from the governor. During the ensuing chase, they sailed directly into a hurricane, and the porpoise is sunk with everybody on board. Now Jamie and their crew are completely lost. They don't actually know where they are. They eventually sight land. It just so happens that at that point that the mast snaps and hits Claire, and the whole lot goes into the water, entrapping Claire under this huge mast. She actually breaks her leg in this encounter. Now Jamie jumps overboard immediately and saves her, and they swim to land. Now when Claire wakes up, she discovers that she's in a house, and they ask the owners where they are, and they get told that they're in Georgia. So they finally made it to America. So that's the end of season 3. So what's in store for season 4? Well, we won't know till next September, but I'll be reading the books now, and I will be vlogging about them shortly. So please stay tuned. Over the next few months, I'll be going in depth and talking about the various characters from Outlander, and I will also be discussing the upcoming series 4 that will be most probably being released in September of 2018.